Wait, sweet love. Wait, sweet love. I don't know what I clicked on, but I don't want to be here. Oops. What is going on? Oh, okay. Hello. How are you, Audrey? Yeah. I'm hearing music, but I don't want the music. Are you hearing music? And you might be hearing airplanes because, of course, they're. Hey, Krystal. What is this here? How are you? I was not going to come on until the last minute, and I realized, hey, I have things I want to talk about, so why not chat it up with my people? Yeah. Okay, so is the music overbearing? Is it loud? Hey, Veronica. And you probably hear this little one coughing. I like that. I stumbled on it because I don't know. Can you hear me clearly? Hey, Desiree. How was you guys' day today? Okay, so you can hear me clearly? Good. I like that. Because she did? Debt over it. Debt over it. Debt over it. Who is that? And are you talking to me? Debt over it shouted me out. Is that Layla? Is Layla debt over it? No. Is it? Oh my gosh. I've been busy all day. Sometimes I don't get to see the community posts and the videos. I miss stuff or I come late because, there's a lot going on with these kids here. All three of them. So, wow, I have to go and check that out. Let me see on my phone. That's amazing. I want to start the conversation off, though, because I think sometimes I tend to get nervous and then I start rambling. And I don't want this live to be like, it's not making sense. Put your head down, babe. I was reading a statistic about low income. And I live in New York. So in the metro area, a salary of less than $58,450 is now considered low income. And I guess I was being really philosophical thinking about what exactly is low income anyway, because low income is basically maybe considered where you don't make enough to cover your bills, but anything else it's just like, I think a lot of people get caught up in comparing their income to someone else's, whether it's a single person, it's a married person, it's a person with children, it's a person with I don't know, family members that they need to help out. Like, what is considered low? Because a person making $100,000 and then a person making $60,000, the person making 60K might say, "Hey, I'm making a low income because you're making less than someone else." Or, I truly believe that no matter what income a person makes, they can still make it work. You may have to be a little bit more strategic, but hey, mommy trader. Hey, Shalise. Krystal, I'm actually going to check Layla's. Um, I'm going to check her over. I can't believe that. That's so. What did I do to deserve that? Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, talking about low income, I I think I'm starting to realize that no matter how much a person makes, if they truly want to, let's say, get out of debt, or if they don't even want to get out of debt, maybe they just want to have more freedom of time. They want to travel more or do fun things. You can still do that even if you're considered a low income. Just you have to be more strategic about how you use your money, how you spend your money, if you're saving or not. Because I don't know people personally who have like paid off hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt or have their mortgage paid off or anything like that, who made a seemingly low income, like under 100,000, let's say. But I've heard stories, watching Dave Ramsey, watching people doing the debt free scream, listening to testimonies on YouTube that they have never made more than $100,000, yet they're millionaires in their 401ks, or they're millionaires in their Roth IRAs, or they don't even own a home, but they live sort of lavishly. Like, they can travel to different countries, they can see different cultures, they can do all these different things, and they never made a lot of money. So even if they made less than 100,000 or less than 60,000, is that considered low income based on the freedom of time that they have, or the amount of just joy they get out of their everyday lives? No, just thinking, talking out loud. Krystal said gross and net are different. You can make 80K on paper, but after taxes is like 50K. Yeah, that's true too. Hi, Tracy. I know it's kind of late, but I only just got my children to lay down, the younger ones anyway, by maybe 25 minutes ago. So I just wanted to chat with you guys. I've been creating videos, I've been editing videos, I've got all these videos lined up. I've been doing TikToks and posting on Instagram, and I feel like I just want to connect and talk and see what you guys are doing and how you're doing, and that's all. That's really why I did this live. So I hope I'm not boring you guys. Let me see it. Time for another shout out. Oh no, that was 6 months ago. Why is it showing me posts from 6 months ago on the community tab? That's weird. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing It's only showing me posts from 6 months ago. So I don't know. I've always wanted to know what is considered low income for Tennessee. I don't know. When a few years ago, 2009, maybe 2010, I was working at McDonald's, and we were doing some decluttering a few months back, or a couple months back, and I found some old pay stubs from the McDonald's I used to work in. And that my oldest son at that time was probably two and a half. And I would work maybe 35, 40 hours a week and bring home $200. Like, those checks were like $200. And I used to ask myself, how are you living off of that? Because I mean, that was more than 10 years ago, but that's minimum wage. That's hard labor, because McDonald's it's hard labor. And $200, like, a Metro card for a week just to get to and from work was about $40 or so, because you got to catch the train or you got to catch the bus, and that's a lot of work. Daycare, shoot, don't even get me started on that. Let me see. What is considered low income? Let me Google it. Google is my friend. But sometimes if you work hard enough, you can make it work. It's not easy. And back then, I think it was a struggle, because with a 2-year old, the doctors always tell you have to make sure they're eating this certain amount of vegetables and whatnot. But if you couldn't afford it, even if you get like some public assistance, or if you get like food stamps, or SNAP benefits they call it now, then you could probably make it work. But where are you going to live? I was living in a room. I was renting a room, not even an apartment, a room, and it was $150 a week. And my paycheck, when I look back and I saw it before I shredded it, was $200. That was ridiculous. But they had things back then like a susu. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it. There was a susu. I got into it with my ex's brother, and that would pay out if you have enough people in there. They pay, you put your money in the pot one week, and next week you get you get your payout, and then catch up on rent or something like that. But I think one of the things that just really caught my attention recently is that there are people who are making $30,000, $35,000 a year after taxes, but they live in such a way where they live very, very cautiously about what they eat, what they wear, just their general self-care. And I think it can be doable. Hey, Gabby. I hope it's a good one, because I feel like I'm just running my mouth, telling all my old business. Come lay down. And my 2-year-old is laying next to me, and I'm not going to let him show his face. So I'm trying to keep him down here, because he's like attached to me. I don't understand. He won't leave me alone. No, Susu is not a scam. Well, it depends on who it is. You should know the people. They used to do it at a church I used to go to. They do it all the time. I think it's a Caribbean thing. You just, once you know the people, you put your money in a pot and you get dealt your hand when it's your time. People still do that, as long as it's a community that you trust. I did it a few times, and I needed the money. So that's one way to make it, when you're really truly making an income that is not enough to pay your bills. One of the things I've been doing too, because for the first maybe almost a year, when the shutdown happened in 2020, my husband lost his job, not because of anything he did, but because everything started shutting down. So there was no work. And that's when you really had to get tight on things, like really had to be specific. And of course, because of, just the, wanted to be safe and not be out and get the virus and stuff like that, it forced me to stop doing things like my eyebrows. I do it myself, or just use a pencil and fill it in if I need to, prepare myself for a virtual meeting or something. Stop getting my nails done. Do it myself, or just go plain and bare, because why? You need to save money, or at the time we were paying off debt, or maybe you want to start planning for retirement or investing. Like, those are things you can cut out for a while, even when you're on a low income. And if I said this in a video once, like very early in my channel, I released a video about how to build an emergency fund quickly. And one of the ways I found it worked for me, I actually did it, was to use your tax refund. Use that bonus you get that year. Even if it's less than years prior, you can really get a head start by doing that. Somebody commented on today's video that came out too, that she's using her tax refund to get a month ahead. I said, that's how you do it. Like, you don't have to YOLO it. You can skip 1 year getting a refund and just make some provision, do something to get yourself ahead. Like, that's smart. It's a smart move. It's a really smart move. Take that refund. And I know a lot of personal finance gurus, a lot of educators, financial educators out there will say, well, you're loaning the government money. And it's like, even if you consider it like that, let that be it. And then when you get that lump sum at the beginning of the new year, take it and do what you need to do. Start your emergency fund, put money in your account and leave that so you can pay your next month's bills. Like, do something to push yourself ahead, because I want financial freedom like so badly. But I don't want to kill myself working 80-hour weeks or grinding and hustling to the point where my life is dwindling away from me. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to have to my girl. And I don't know, Gabby, I'm sorry, I'm cutting to the comments, if yours is still nursing or not. But this one nursed up until 10 months ago, 11 months ago. And he's not doing it now, but he's just always next to me. He won't go away from me. What was I saying? Use your refund, use that bonus, like, be intentional, know what you want to do. Like, I just don't want to stress and have to do all of that work. I think when we get our tax refund, we are going to fully fund that emergency fund. I don't mind putting a little bit here and there, but I want to get that done and move on to the next thing, because life is so precious. We got people dying already this year close to me, people getting sick and ill close to me, and they're not old, they're barely in their 60s. And it's like, why work so hard, grind so hard, networking so hard, pushing your body to stressful limits, just to not even be able to enjoy your life? Like, make better decisions with your money. That's my point. Can we please make better decisions with our money? Can we please say no once in a while to those fancy things? I know they look bright and shiny and nice and it might feel good, but if we can just delay gratification just a little bit, then we don't have to work so hard in our later years, and we don't have to lose our lives short. Not trying to be grim. Sorry. I got some news today that it hurt me to my soul. And I just think these people are young. They're not old people, and they work hard, but they work extremely hard. And where's the joy in your life? I want to live slow. I want to get up and enjoy my children. I want to go all over the place. I want to help people. I want to be able to give and experience other cultures. Like, I don't want my life to be like this, because it's just this short, and then it gets cut short because I didn't take care of myself, because I didn't love myself enough. 100K in New York City is low middle class. Is it really? I know that sounds ungrateful, but you will not achieve much on that income. Now, if you get a hubby making 200K, now you can make some traction. I guess it just, maybe to you, what does it mean? Okay, if you wanted to live, if you're reaching for financial freedom, what does it mean to you? What will you gain from your version of financial freedom? Does that mean the most fanciest walk up in the city in Manhattan? Does that mean you get to live in a totally different country? Like, what does that mean for your life? What makes you want to get to that place? What does it look like for you? Because honestly, I know it's people like, you got to grind, you got to work, you got to push, you got to push, you got to push. I know. But what does that mean? Does that mean I have to like kill myself doing it? Because if that's what it means, I don't want to do that. Like, I really want to just enjoy the work that I'm doing that can pay me. I really want the residual income. I really want to not be fighting back tears every day to get up and go to work. Like, I don't want that, And people, I'm sorry, but people are passing away earlier than they should. Like, I'm a woman of faith. I have a certain faith. I believe that we are all given a certain amount of time to do something, have an assignment. But sometimes we get to the point where we work ourselves so much that we could potentially run ourselves in the ground early. And that's my personal opinion. And I feel like I've seen people, do so much and do so much and do so much until the point where they don't even get to enjoy the life, because you know I believe that we can prosper, we can enjoy our lives, we can live long, be healthy, and experience great things. Like, why would we be sent to the earth just to work until we die? Like, no, that's not it. That is not it. I need yeah, I don't want to work to death. I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy life, you know? Do something significant, touch people's lives in a way. It doesn't have to be worldwide, but it can be anything. Because sometimes we touch the hearts of people and we'll never know that we touch them in a certain way. But at least I know that I'm doing something for other people. But then in the same breath, I'm having the opportunity to live life on my own terms, right? Like, not having to subscribe to the American dream, like I hear a lot of people are talking about now in this space, where you just grind your way to the top and boom, you have it. Like, well, what do I have after working for 50, 60, 70 years? What do I really have? I feel like you would miss out on a lot. Wait, hold on. Oops, sorry. Financial freedom. I just want my time back. That is it. Flexibility to do the things I want to do, enjoy my children. And that's what I mean. Time is precious. Time is a precious commodity. It is the one thing that we cannot rewind and get back. I I'm sorry. I remember I loved Lauryn Hill in high school, and I don't even remember, what is it, VHS tapes. Anybody remember VHS tapes? So I took this VHS tape, I put it in a VCR, and I recorded her on the Grammys. I recorded over some movie, and my parents was upset. Like, what did you do this? Lauryn Hill, you're never gonna meet her. I was like, but this is like a once in a lifetime thing. You can't rewind it. Back then they didn't have DVR. You have to record it and keep it. And it's like, that's the one thing you can't get back. I want to be able to enjoy it and live in those precious moments, because your children grow up fast. The same 2.5-year-old I was just talking about, he's 13 and he's about to be 14. And time is going. And after a certain period, they don't want to be under you anymore. Like, I'm saying, oh, he's always under me. I love this though, because one day this is not going to be the case. So I want to enjoy it now. I would gain peace spending more time with my family, and my one son will be taken care of when I cannot anymore. Exactly. That's good. And that peace, what does it mean to you? To me, it means being able to get up and go when I need to go. Some people have children and even family members who need special care, who require special care. You don't want to always say no because your job is demanding, and you need the job because you have to fund whatever it is that needs to be funded: medical care, emotional care, physical care. You want that peace of mind, saying, I don't have to get up and go to work today. I can go and take care of this loved one. I can make sure things are in place for them and enjoy them while they're here. Mona says, I want to have options. I'm a single parent of a severely disabled child, and I work in finance outside of the home. I work insane hours. I'm exhausted, but don't have choice because I'm the only provider. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that about your child. And I know what it's like to not have family around you and to be stressed out. And I don't share that side. I don't talk about it, but it's hard. It's hard when you're either the only one and there's no family to support you, to be the caregiver when you can't because you have to work. It's not easy. I don't have a good relationship with my mother. My mother lives several hours away from me, and we just That's just not working. I don't have any family near to me. My husband doesn't have family near to me, which is one of the reasons why it was difficult to even start working again. I can't work outside of the home because daycare is expensive. And I can't reach out to grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle. We've got to do it on our own. Yeah. Let me see what Shalise says. Financial freedom for me means time, but to have that time, we need money. It costs money to live, so we made a budget that works for us, needs, and someone's, and making our money grow. Exactly. And you teach a lot about that, which is great because a lot of people don't realize that you can start wherever you are. You can start wherever you are to let your money work for you. Just how you talk about investing and you talk about budgeting, because that's where it starts. Your money needs a plan. That's what a budget is. It's a plan, right? It's a plan to say, this is how much money will go here to it, our bills. This is how much money is going to saving. This is how much money is going to investing. This is how much money is going to our fund. So you can free up yourself and enjoy yourself. And budgeting and all of that is just like self-care, giving yourself the freedom to do what you need to do, what you'd like to do, you know? And I feel like if I say some things, I'll start crying. um I can't say that because I'll start crying. Yeah, I have a child with a disability and he has needs that I want to make sure that they will be taken care of while I'm here and after. Mona, I'm adding you to my prayer list. I don't know, I just want to make sure you know that I'm lifting you up in prayer. We all need each other for something. And sometimes it's just good to have somebody to pray for you, even if you don't know them personally. So I am praying for you and I'm praying for things to get better because there's a lot of things in life that we struggle through and we struggle with and we're going through, but I'm praying for a solution for you. Don't kick me, man. I struggle with not being around family as well. It's hard. It gets hard, especially like I wasn't feeling well a few days ago, and I could barely move, and I wish I could pick up the phone and say, "Okay, Grandma, we need you," but sometimes it's just not like that. You're the one, you're the nurse, you're the caregiver, and my husband works hard, and he's working even harder now that things have shifted a bit. So even though normally I would be able to depend on him, if I'm not well and he's working, you just got to do what you got to do. But there's always a solution to every problem. That's what I believe. No matter how difficult the problem is, I've been through some things, and no matter how difficult it is, there is a solution. My husband and I had to work different shifts so we wouldn't pay daycare for 5 children. That, gosh. When this one here and the other one who's 4 were in daycare, there's 2 of them. I had them so close together. $1,600 a month. And now the same place wants $2,000 a month. And on top of that, you got to buy diapers or pull-ups. You got to have extra clothes. You got to have all these things for them to eat and whatnot. And it's too much. Hi, Latin Budget. Thank you for being here. And Mona, I'm praying for you. Please don't kick me, babe. Oh, my back. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know if my husband and I, like, if we'll see if we'll get to the exact type of life that we want to live. Maybe our children will get it. Maybe we won't get it, which is fine for me because growing up was hard. Growing up in a place where you didn't see certain things presented before you, you weren't taught certain things about life in general, or about relationships, or about money, and all those things, and it affects your adulthood because we're always growing, we're always maturing. So even though people say, okay, we're grown now, we're in our 30s, we're in our early 40s, we're getting there, we should know these things. If we didn't get it taught, it's like we're catching up. So if we don't get to see the exact level of financial freedom that we want, my prayer is that our children will get it, that your children who need extra special care will get what they need and then some, and even more, because nobody wants to see their child or their children suffer. And I would love to see my grandchildren and have their children be prospering and living their lives fully, abundantly, to its fullest, not having to worry about their living situation, that they can't afford to live here, they can't afford to not work. Like, those are the things I want them to think about. What is my purpose? What can I do to affect change? What can I do to experience a full life, a joyful life? Like, those are the things I want them to be thinking about. Each generation will have its own struggles, but I don't want them to struggle like we did. Does that make sense? Like, even if we ourselves don't see it, Lord, let our children see it. Lord, let our children experience it. Experience what it's like to live their life and only have to be concerned about whether or not they are morally good, they're spiritually good, they're doing things that can affect change in their generation and the generations to come. Like, we not recently got out of an era where, I'm sorry, Black people couldn't vote, women couldn't teach or have jobs outside of the home that were significant. Like, there was such a fight. And now we're seeing progressive change. I want to see that my children can stand up and live a life that they're pleased with, that they're happy with, you know? Sorry if I'm rambling, y'all, because you guys are chatting and I'm not even looking. Man, I'm scared about daycare. My best friend has a daycare, so I hope I get a little discount when I become a mom. Though, if it's your friend, then maybe so. Hopefully, because it is expensive, and just have to find ways around it. Daycare is crazy in NYC. I paid $2,100. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. The same place that my kids were in before the shutdown, $1,600, now it's $2,000. It's like, I'm sorry, that's a no-go. Only because I'm in a different situation. Like, I'm working from home, so that's different. Hi, Nilza. How are you and how are your children? How's your husband? Isn't it crazy? $2,100 a month. Ridiculous. And you guys know I'm the nerd. I sell insurance, a licensed agent. Daycares, especially group home daycares in New York, got hit hard because a lot of companies stopped writing the insurance. So that forced them to go outside to look for different policies. And those policies are expensive. And then with COVID and the different restrictions, I don't know if, they're exactly the same now, but the rates are higher. So if they have to pay more just to maintain the business, they have to increase their prices per children. So it just makes it so much more expensive. It really is. It's true. The devil is in the details. I realize this about myself. If I find something that's working, I try to keep doing that. Because I notice if I stop doing it, all just goes to crap. And when you truly look at your numbers, you'll see, dang, did I really spend $400? eating out this month? Did I really go here and there? Like, I didn't feel it until I looked at it. I said, oh, shucks. What did I do? Did we really spend $300, almost $300 every month for the past 3 months just on gas alone? What? And then the flip side to that, our electricity bill was really low. So that, and spoiler alert, because this video is not coming out until next week, I think. We're saving money on our electricity bills. So you know what I'm doing with that extra money? I'm investing it. Because you know why? I do not like losing money. I want to earn money. I want to gain money. I want it to work for me. I do not want to spend it on something frivolous. I will take $5 gladly and say, "Oh, I saved $5. You know what I'm going to do with that? I'm either going to invest it or maybe I'll save it for something else." Because even if the money is in an envelope, not collecting any interest, and of course, inflation is probably eating away at it, I'll still have that. I didn't spend it on something that I didn't really need. I kept it for something else in the future because something always comes up. Something always breaks in the house or whatever, and at least you have it. But it's in the details for sure. I learned a lot about me personally just by looking at our budget and seeing where our money has been going and what we've been doing with it. That is a game changer. I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm glad you made it to my live very late. Or I don't know if it's 10 o'clock where you are. It's after 10 now. But I had coffee this morning, so I probably won't sleep for a little while. And I have to track my expenses. And it's hard because I know it, people don't tend to watch the video as much, but I need to do it for myself. And I hope other people see how important it is, because then you'll see, if you think about it, if you're just swiping your debit card or spending cash from your envelope and you're not really tracking it, you're not caring, you just, here you go, here you go, here you go. You could easily spend hundreds of dollars and not even realize you lost out. But what I like about what I see a lot of you guys doing, especially like Gabby and Tina from A Pink Cough Life, or who else? Lizzie, and oh gosh, there's so many of you guys doing great. When I see how you have leftover money from your spending and you put it into a challenge, that money adds up. Taylor, my girl Taylor, I love how you guys do that, because the fact that you do it at all, tracking your expenses, seeing how much, okay, I didn't spend this money last week, I'm going to put it in my dollar challenge or my $5 challenge or my 1K challenge. And it's like, that's how you gain momentum, and that's how you spend more consciously. And that's what tracking expenses does for me. Like, even though we're using the credit card, because we don't track our cash, like that's our fun money. Do whatever you want with it. Nobody's going to ask questions. But with your credit card, we have to be so intentional. So we see that, okay, we spent money here, and now I'm consciously thinking, this is how much I have left before I hit my utilization cap, or this is how much we budgeted for this month, so let's not go over that amount. And when I go and I'm checking it every day, and then I sit down that one day and I say, okay, I see where I made a mistake here, or I see what we could do better here. And it's so freeing. It feels like, maybe not going to a spa day or getting a massage, but it feels like self-care. It feels like I am in control of what I'm doing with our money. So now we can find more money that we didn't know we had, Yes, I love seeing Tasha track those expenses. Daycare is expensive. I'm blessed to get mine subsidized by the military. Yes. What is her name, guys? I was in her live a couple days ago. Army Girl Budgets. I'm so sorry, I forgot her name. But yeah, military people. My father was in the military. My grandfather, I don't know. My grandfather on my mother's side was in the military, so I know they get some decent benefits, and we can help each other wherever we can. I'm so glad it helps. I am so glad it helps. What does this star mean? There's a star next to your comments. Does anybody use StreamYard? And can you tell me what this star means. I don't know. I'm hitting it, but I don't know what it does. We spent 1,500 in eating out in a month. Wow. Enjoying ourselves is one thing, being careless is another. Amen to that. We stop being wait. See, that'll preach right there. I want to give you an offering just for that. That is preaching right there. Enjoying ourselves is one thing, being careless is another. That's it. That's it. Do you guys still hear the music? Ah, let me see. There's a banner. Oh. Now I'm playing with StreamYard because I'm seeing things that I didn't know were there. Ah. Oh, that is nice. I'm sorry, I'm real geeky over here because I didn't know you could do I didn't know you could do that. Ah, look at me learning something new. Oh, I saw this one. Yes. That was good though. And sometimes I feel like I do too much because I'm so into the details and I'm trying to see with our personal budget, how much did we save compared to how much we invested and um how much did we put towards the emergency fund compared to our short-term savings, those purpose funds that I have. How much did we spend towards our bills? Did we put enough in our bills account for next month? I like seeing that and looking at the percentages, and I think it's just the consistency of it. It causes you to realize where there are gaps and where you could do something different and make your money stretch when you need it to, make it work where it needs to work. And one of the hardest parts for me though is not being able to put money in all of the buckets, like all of the things. Like I didn't put any money towards our short-term savings in March. So when I look at my spreadsheet, I'm like, why is this at 0%? There's no growth here. I'm so upset. But the reality is, if you really look at all the things that happen with your money, for us personally, we did put more money into our emergency fund. We did put more towards investing that we thought we would. So if you track your expenses, if close out your budget, if you just track your expenses in your main account where you pay all your bills or do your spending, it will open your eyes. Yeah. Let me see if I missed anybody's comments. And I would hope is Mona still here? And Mona, if you are still here, are you on Instagram? So, yeah, I was just kind of chit chatty and wanted to talk about those things. Even if you make a seemingly low income, I think we gathered that it's about what, $100,000, which is not a lot of money if it's post tax, maybe, but depending on what you really want out of life, it could be hard to make things happen. Okay. What's your handle, Mona? If you don't mind sharing. If not, then reach out to me or if you want to like send me a message so I can respond to you there on Instagram. It's at the Mind Your Money. Yeah, the Mind Your Money. And you know what, guys, another thing before I get off of here, because I'm tired and this one is now sleeping. Giving is a very, very special way, an important way to open up doors of increase. It might seem like to some people that, okay, if I'm giving, then I'm just giving my money away. But it's like a long time principle. When you give, you open up the door for more to come to you. And giving with a grateful heart, giving out of sincerity, not just to say, oh, I'm going to get this back, but honestly. And part of our testimony is the consistently that we give and we're fruitful in that area, the more God blesses us. And sometimes it's not just money wise. He opens up doors for us to get things that would help us in our lives, because money answers everything, right? Money will answer a whole lot of issues and problems. It costs money to put kids in daycare. It costs money to, feed your family. It costs money to travel, whether you have a car or whether you're taking public transportation. It costs money, right? But maybe God will touch somebody's heart to give you a pass, a transit pass, and you get a transit pass for a whole month, a whole year, something like that. Or someone will bless you with a car and just give you the car. And then all you have to take care of now is, registering your car and doing the normal things that you have to do in your state. Like, these are the things I'm talking about when the doors will open because you give. And many times, you just get the impression. Sometimes we get the impression, okay, we're going to give this. And for me, a lot of times it's hard because I will hoard money. If I'm not careful, I will hoard it. I will hold it to me. But I'm learning even more that it's so important to give, not just your regular, oh, we're going to give this 10% every week or whatever. Just don't touch that. Don't touch that. Come sit here. Not just a regular 10%. But above and beyond that, to the point where you can really be a blessing to people, and you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to say anything. You just do it. You know what I'm saying? And then many times too, it doesn't always have to be a tenth of your actual physical money. It could be your time. Spend time praying for someone, praying with someone, or giving someone an opportunity that they wouldn't have had before. Even if it's a little thing, if it's a big thing, just giving. And honestly, it's blessed us tremendously. Someone gave us a refrigerator once. Like, just random. Here, you need a refrigerator? Like, you didn't know you didn't know I needed a refrigerator. But God did. Sit down, baby love. Things like that can happen and do happen. It does happen. Financial freedom to me is waking up with family, sharing quality time. Oop, I'm going to sneeze. Not worrying if you have enough food or if you have to pay for bills. Excuse me, sorry. So on and so forth. That's good. Everybody. Everybody. Listen. There is so much freedom in being ahead of your bills, not having to worry or just even be concerned, not to worry and, be frustrated and be anxious, but not to have to concern with, be concerned that, oh, I can't pay next month's bills because I ain't got it. Or when we started budgeting and I started posting videos on YouTube 2 years ago. Now it's been 2 years since I've been on here. And that time when I started, the first of the month was always the hardest because you really didn't have any money. Your rent is due, but you didn't save any money in the previous month. And now you're wondering if your landlord is going to give you an extension and not charge you a late fee, or if you can pay your utility bill and not have them send a shutoff notice. Because I know here in New York, they will send it to you real fast. You could be 2 days late and they're already talking about your shutoff date is the next day after you receive the notice. Like craziness. And that was stressful. That puts a strain, especially if you're in a partnership with someone, or if you live with family, that can stress people out. And now I don't even know how to really explain the freedom I feel, the little bit of freedom I feel, knowing that we don't have to worry about April's tomorrow. We already have the money for all of April's bills. And those are the kind of things that make it feel like financial freedom is more real. Like we can get there. We can get to the point where it doesn't matter if the bill is a couple few dollars, $20 more, because you know what? We already put some money aside for that. It takes that pressure off of you. It takes that, you don't have to be like, oh man, I'm stressed out. I want to drink something crazy. You got it. So that's a good point. If you have to pay your bills, you don't have to worry about it because you're already you put yourself in a position to get there. And sometimes, again, delaying gratification, putting that bonus away, not increasing your expenses when you get a raise or whatever. If a stranger walks up and gives you, I don't know, $10,000, hey, it could happen. You don't just go squander and say, oh, I'm going to buy myself a car, I'm going to get myself a Louis. Like sometimes you just say, no, let me go ahead and get ahead. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, y'all. Good night. Mwah. Good night. I hope you enjoy your night. Get some good sleep. And Veronica says, giving your time is just as good as monetary means. That's true too. Because the time, sometimes for some people, time is harder because you can't get that back. You cannot get that back. We were late on rent for a few months in 2017. We are so blessed our landlords were so forgiving and never charged or evicted us. Look at that. That's a blessing. I've never been evicted either. I've been close. And I had a situation where I probably should have, but I wasn't. And that was only for the grace of God. So yeah. All right, you guys. I thank you for being here. And I thank you for listening to me, kind of go on and on. And thank you for sharing what financial freedom means to you. I so appreciate it. And I know Shalise has gone out, but that comment, I want to remember that because that was good. And Latin Budget, I'm so sorry I don't know your name, but what you said about being able to not worrying about if you have enough food or if you have to pay your bills, that is a part of financial freedom for me too. I don't have to wonder where my children's next meal is going to come from, or how I'm going to pay this bill. Like that shouldn't even be a thought. I want to be asking my husband or asking them, where do you want to go on vacation? Which country in Africa do you want to see? Which island should we go to next? What type of RV should we rent for our cross-country trip? Like things like that. Those are the serious decisions you want to think about, not stressed out. So that was it in all. Please give this video a thumbs up. It is going to be saved as a video on my channel. But I appreciate everyone for being here. Alice. Okay. It's nice to meet you, Alice. And I definitely have to check out your channel. And thank you for being here, Mona. Blessings to you and your family. And hopefully I'll have the courage to go live again next week, next Thursday. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Bye. Good night, Tracy. Good night, Veronica. Good night, Gabby. Oh gosh, Josiah, you have to go to sleep, babe. Good night.